Hey guys, hope you're having a wonderful week so far. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Reginald Jackson. I'm a cartoonist and illustrator, and I'm here to do another sketchbook tour. First off, I want to give a shout out to one of my viewers, which is Isaac the Monk 233. They recommend I do another one of these sketchbook tours, so I figured that's what I'll go ahead and do. And plus, I was already pretty jazzed about doing another one of these type of like tours since I like how the last one turned out. So I thought I'd do another one with a bigger one this time. So this right here, it's 9 by 12. I think I got this at a Walmart when they were still selling. I don't think they sell these anymore. But I worked in this sketchbook from November 2021 to July 2022. And even though it spans at least over half a year, most stuff here in this book was done within like that spring and that summer. So from around March to July 22, a lot of stuff was done in that period. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So to start things off, when I started in this sketchbook, I really didn't do too much sketches in this one, kind of like the other one. As you can see, I mainly just did a lot of headshots. I normally tend to do these a lot when I'm warming up in a new sketchbook. Other times I'll do some gesture drawings right here. And here, where things got a little interesting, I did some sketches of a mandrill. In case you guys don't know what a mandrill is, it's a monkey that's native to West Africa, and they're known for having these very bright colors. And in fact, doing these sketches, I ended up doing a oil pastel picture of this monkey right here. So these mandrills are known for being very bright, very colorful, and I really enjoyed how well this turned out because I normally don't work in oil pastels like that often, but I thought I'd make an exception here. Also, fun fact for those who don't know, if you remember Rafiki from Lion King, this is the monkey that he's based on, a mandrill. Go further ahead, there's some other stuff I did in oil pastel. It's one of those mediums like I really love working with, but I don't work that often, mainly because they tend to be very messy. So I always got to take that precaution in mind whenever I'm working within that medium. So over here, just some more pancakes. I think this is someone I did of the SWAT cats. Just some more. Here's some loose sketches I did where I started with some random blobs of marker paint. I just drew faces around them. Just some more like headshots. Just some more gesture drawings. Just some more gesture drawings. Just some more like rough sketches here. Just a few more. I think here's one I did of Pete right here. And you can see I tend to keep my sketches very loose. I tend to do a lot of my sketches in ballpoint pen. I like using ballpoint pens since you can get like really like fine lines, very soft lines. And they're not, even though they're permanent, they're not as permanent as say a regular like a felt tip pen. So that's why I like working with those. Here I started experimenting with doing some shadows just with some regular markers. So I just some hard shadows, tried doing some more dramatic ones. This one I ended up really liking because I wanted to do something that had that more of a horror theme. So I really dug how this one turned out. Just some more headshots. Sketch I did of Little Richard. I think around this time I did my own personal art challenge because this was done around February where I drew various black rock musicians. So I did one of Little Richard. I think there was another person that I did in this book you'll see later on in just a little bit. But I'll get to that soon enough. Just some more sketches here. Just one day of two guys just having a somewhat spicy pic of two guys just having a smooch. So there is that. Occasionally my artwork can get a little spicy, but I'm usually not going to show that work that often. Got some more sketches here of a Cupid with bow and arrow. Just some more loose sketches here. And here, this is the one I was talking about. So this is one I did during that February of Betty Davis. For those who don't know, she was a funk rock singer from the 70s. And she was known for giving these very loud, very energetic shows. You know, unfortunately, she had passed away a few months back, but the few songs I've heard from her, like, they were really cool because, like, her stuff wasn't slick and smooth. It was loud, provocative, and very funky. Definitely remember checking her stuff out. Just some stuff I did, playing around with markers. Just some more Cupid stuff. So I think this was still around February. Just some more headshots. Just some more stuff with hats. More headshots. Kind of started doing a whole Western theme going on. Go a little bit more of these hats here. Just some stuff, with some markers. There's one I did like Lupin the Third. Because I think during the time I really got into watching old school like Lupin around this time. Just some more loose stuff. I think here's one I did Pinky. Here's another one of Pinky right here. And here's why I did the helmets for Daft Punk. I called this one Aerodynamic Headgear. Because this was around the time I really got into Daft Punk, electronic like house group. And and this was around the period where, I really started getting like EDM music in general, because during that spring and summer I was listening to Daft Punk, I was listening to Prodigy. I was listening to them a lot prominently. So I want to kind of do like a tribute piece with them because, at the time they had just recently broke up. So I want to do one with their helmet. So I really love how well this turned out. Just some more sketches. Nothing more headshots here. Here I was kind of experimenting with some gray tone markers that I initially got. Here's just some small stuff in pencil. That just something that's more slapsticky, just two guys that are covered in pie. There was that. Here's some more Simpson-y sketches I did. I think I'd already been drawing Simpsons characters for about a year now, but I think it's here where I really started implementing more and more, my drawing style. But then I just find Simpsons characters fun to draw anyway. Here's another guy that I drew from various black rock stars. I did one of Eddie Hazel. This was the original guitarist from Funkadelic back in the 70s. And he's definitely a really underrated guitarist because he definitely gave rock giants like Jimi Hendrix a run for their money, because while he was very funky, he used a lot of screechy feedback, distortion, wah-wah pedals. Definitely a fantastic guy. I definitely recommend checking him out. I think he had hits like Maggot Brain, Center Verge Gang It On. A lot of really great stuff from him. Definitely underrated guitarist. Just an extra seat. And also one thing I should keep in mind is that with this period sketch, with a lot of my sketchbooks, a lot of times if I really do like something that I did, usually I'll tear it out of the sketchbook so I can scan it in. Or if I need to put in another sketchbook if I'm mixing with something else. So that's why a lot of these drawings you'll see here, they're not connected to the book because I've torn them out at some point. But I put them back together here so everything's all together. So here's some more headshots here. I think here's one I sort based on Michael Jackson right here. Just some more headshots. Here's a more of a punk theme one I did right here. Just something I did over here with some circles. Just some more headshots. Something I did in grayscale. Just some more sketches. And at this point, we're out of February. I think we're in the middle of spring now. Because even though I hadn't really done too many full drawings here just yet, I was getting a lot more productive inside this one. So here, I think around this time, I started watching the Cuphead series. I think I just finished watching season 1. And so, I had practiced drawing some characters within, that style. And so a few of these are like that for the next couple of pages here. Yeah, there we go. I'll definitely come back to doing this. Here's a picture I did of Depeche Mode. There was another group I really got into around this time. Yeah, I really ended up digging their sound. I think even as of right now, the albums I still really love is Violator. I know that's one of their big hit ones. And their Live 101 album, I really dug that. Because in fact, I think when I did this as a kind of a tribute piece, because around the time when I did this, one of the founding members, Andy Fletcher, he had just recently passed away, not shortly around that time. So I did want to do a brief, kind of somewhat abstract, character piece of them. But I really love how that one turned out. Another one I did, since I got in the field doing caricatures, I did another one of Tribe Called Quest. That one turned out really well, because on top of really getting into EDM music, I was listening to a lot of old school hip hop. And this group, they're actually one of my favorite like old school like hip hop groups altogether, like Tribe Called Quest, Tupac and Biggie. I love those groups. But as far as actually like groups that really had a whole like acid jazz, like hip hop mix of jazz type stuff, I've always dug them. So they're great. Dig that. That's sketch for another I'm drawing you'll see coming up in just a little bit. Just some more like practice stuff I did with markers. Just sketch. Here's just again on a loose piece, on a loose printer paper. Just guys kind of sitting down like in his chair, barefoot of course. Here I did some sketches where I was doing some stuff in pen and marker, just doing different stuff with limited color palettes. And now this is where things really got fun. So this is one where I drew a picture of Springfield Mob from The Simpsons, like Fat Tony, Legs, and Louie. And I based off a screenshot from one of their later seasons. I think it was season 21. And I decided to redraw it, but I decided to do it in my own style, but with more of a vaporwave aesthetic. And I wanted to try. I've been meaning to do like vaporwave aesthetic for the longest time, and I really love how it turned out because I used a lot of purples, used a lot of pinks. Yeah, I just really went like nuts with the colors. So I loved how well this one turned out. When I posted this on DeviantArt, I ended up getting up a daily deviation. Like it blew up within the first day I posted it. So that was cool. So just some more rough sketches. Here's another one I did. This one I did of Gravity Falls. So I did one of the whole like Pine Street. So you got Wrinkle Stan, Waddles, Dipper Mabel, Wendy, Seuss, Ford Pines. And that one I really enjoyed doing too, because I wanted to do a group shot, with the whole Gravity Falls game for the longest time, but I never got around to doing it. So this was a lot of fun. I'm glad I ended up doing that one. Did that. Just some more loose sketches. Just some more stuff of color. Just some more stuff of expressions. All my duels for most part, they're usually like pretty messy. They're pretty chaotic. Because sometimes for me, it's more about just getting them out there versus trying to keep them all neat. Because, it's a sketchbook. You're allowed to actually be messy. You're allowed to be chaotic. Because you're not just drawing like finished pictures. You're just like playing around with ideas, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. You're allowed to go a little nuts with it. Especially like since most of it now, people aren't going to really see, like these loose sketches. They're only going to see like the finished works. But the thing is, behind every like finished work, there's like a bunch of like loose sketches and dirty sketches that you don't see. So it's something to keep in mind when you see someone else's like finished work, is that they mostly have to do a lot of stuff like this. So I did that. I think here's something I did with El Macho from Despicable Me 2. So that's something I did with him. Just some more loose, just some more. So I think I ended up using it as a blot sheet when for my marker. Because a lot of times if I'm doing something with markers, especially alcohol markers, usually I'll put like a loose sheet underneath there. So in case it bleeds through the bottom of the paper, it'll bleed through on this sheet and it won't bleed through like the following pages. So that's a precaution I normally do whenever I'm working with paper that's not specifically like marker paper. Because with regular marker paper, you don't have to really worry about that. But regular mixed media paper like this, it is something to be mindful of. So here's another picture I did on site called Saint Chirac. Now, for those who don't know Saint Chirac, he was a free jazz guitarist. He'd been playing as far back as the 60s. He played with a lot of jazz giants like Pharoah Sanders, like Miles Davis, even stuff with Herbie Mann. And the cool thing about him is that even though he's a guitarist, like he played a lot of like feedback, a lot of distortion. And the thing is, because unlike Hendrix, he wasn't a rock guitarist, he was a jazz guitarist. And he really implemented, that type of like unconventional playing style in his music. But probably his most well-known piece was actually his last musical composition. It was for Space Ghost from Coast to Coast. For those who watched Cartoon Network in the 90s, y'all might remember that rockin' intro where, the planets are swirling around, we're in the studio, and you had that whole like rocking guitar in the background. That was him. Yeah, he did all the music for that show. And in fact, when he passed in 94, like the show actually did like a whole episode actually dedicated to him. It's really touching because like I can't think of any other show, especially from that time, that would do something like that for a musician, especially one that really contributed to their sound. But definitely recommend checking his stuff out. His stuff is really neat. So I did some stuff. I think it was some stuff I did with some paint markers, just some stuff with some water-based markers here. Some more pen stuff. Here's something I did with Kung Fu Panda. I did some of Kung Fu Panda with the Furious Five, and this is actually based on an older picture I did. I think back in I think it was either 2020 or 2021. I did another shot where I basically did all five of them together. But I wanted to come back and redo them more how they looked in Kung Fu Panda 3. Kung Fu Panda 4 hadn't came out yet. And I really loved how well this one turned out. And then when I posted this on DeviantArt, a lot of people really loved this one. In fact, even as of right now, it's my most viewed it's one of my most viewed pictures on DeviantArt, so that was cool. Of course, here's one I did of the wolf, aka Lupin the Third. And I wanted to do one as classic like red jacket. And you can see here, I've also did, if it's yellow tie, if it's a calling card. So that one was cool. And another one, this is another one I did with more of a retro feel. This one I called Old Tunes, New Freds. And so this one I loosely based off an old promo art for when Cartoon Network first came out back in 1992. Because I think I did this around the time when Cartoon was celebrating its 25th anniversary. No, actually, I think it was its 20th anniversary. I think that's what it was. And so what they did around that time, they did these promo pictures of like Fred Flintstone, Yogi Bear, and George Jetson. They all had these checkerboard suits. And so I thought I'd do like a callback to those old promos where I drew them in a more like modern look. But I wanted to draw them a way that seemed more fitting to their personalities, fitting to their character. That seemed too hip. But that one was really cool. Just another stuff I did with, I think it was oil pastel. I think it might have been art sticks. Because art sticks, they're a little more waxy compared to oil pastel. So, did those. Some more marker work. Here's a brief log on portraits that I did of Chris Hemsworth. I can't remember if I had planned on doing a bigger piece of this one, if I was going to keep this as a study. I might come back and do something with this one day. Also, this one I did called Six Figures. So this is something I did with like 6 people, all with different colored shirts. This is actually another drawing I did, I think back around 2020, probably 2021. And I thought I'd draw it with some extra color. Because the first time I did, I only used just markers. I think I only used 12 markers. I did my best to try to color it in with those. And here I thought, let me revisit that piece, with some more colored pencils, with some pen marks. So that one was cool. And so, as at this point, we're deep into summer, so I was really productive around this time where I was doing a lot of stuff during this period. And so, I actually believe that is it. Just some extra pages there. So yeah, that's pretty much all the stuff, I did throughout that whole summer. And of course, at that point, I'd already moved on to another sketchbook. And I was working in a whole different one at this point. Yeah, but guys, I hope you all enjoyed, this particular sketchbook tour. I know this one might have been a little bit shorter compared to the, it might have been long. I know this one might be a little bit shorter compared to some of the other ones that I had done. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one all the same. And I figured some of you who've watched me from my YouTube shorts and some of my live streams, some of you might recognize some of the ones featured here already. But I figure for those of you who are new, you probably haven't seen these for the first time. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed, this second sketchbook tour. If you really like this one, you can check out my my other sketchbook tour, which I had posted last week. I'll leave a link in the description. Also, you're free to check me out at my other sites. You can check me out on DeviantArt. I go by the name Reggie J Workshop. On Instagram, I go at RegArt1993. And guys, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. Thank you.